We are here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Thursday, July 25th here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin, and you're watching News Generation. Today, we're joined by Walter Lee.
Lovely to be here.
Happy Thursday, and Cheska Dine Hong.
Happy Thursday, everyone.
Happy Thursday. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. Now, as usual, we're going to start with our news feed, which covers different hashtags and news items that have been trending online. Tesla CEO Elon Musk's video of an AI-generated virtual fashion show has taken the internet by storm. The 83-second clip, which he posted on X this past Sunday, has attracted over 150 million views as of now. The video features various world leaders, including North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, strutting down the runway with a gold chain and a hooded coat adorned with images of himself and his last name Kim printed on his chest. Moving on, meanwhile, here in Korea, new data shows that overseas sales of K-pop have surpassed 1 trillion Korean won for the first time last year. According to the Korea Culture and Tourism Institute on Wednesday, the figure stood at 1.23 trillion won, approximately 723 million US dollars. These overseas K-pop sales include exports of LPs, cassette tapes, CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays, international downloads and streaming, and performances abroad, including concerts. Staying in Korea, there are growing concerns about payment delays by online commerce platforms WeMakePrice and Timon, which are Korean affiliates of the Singapore-based Q10 Group. Since Monday, users of these platforms have been receiving notifications from sellers about cancellations of their goods or services due to payment delays from the platforms. Sellers are also advising users to request refunds from Q10. Industry insiders estimate the resulting damage to be at least 100 billion Korean won, roughly $72.2 million. It's reported that about 60,000 Korean companies sell their products through Q10 Group affiliates. So, based on what has been reported until now, what has been identified as the cause of these payment delays?
I think the major root cause of it had to do with the circulation of the fund. So as we know, Timon is the affiliate of the Q10 company, and supposedly was supposed to receive funds to pay its affiliate platforms,
right?
But it did not receive the funds, so they had to sort of bail out on the payment services. But at the same time, I think it also had to do with the discounted coupons, meaning I think it's very similar to what happened at Merge Point back in 2021. So Timon is known for selling discounted coupons, but because it couldn't sort of back up with the assets, I think the customers are at the other end receiving the disadvantages. And as we saw in the news article, a lot of the travels and traveling agencies are asking for refunds, and there are customers who just can't take flights that they were supposed to. So there's a lot of domino effect of damages that are happening right now.
Right, and it seems that the delays that these sellers and customers are experiencing is snowballing. And we just talked about how these platforms have notified their users to actually apply for refunds through Q10, but it seems that customers have not yet received their funds, and this kind of grows, making the concerns bigger, as Cheska mentioned, that we might see a second Merge Point incident, which happened here in Korea in 2021, right, Walter?
Yeah, that's correct. That's right. It's gotten so bad that people have actually been going down to the headquarters to officially complain. And from a photo I saw there were a swarm of angry customers demanding their money back now. At the moment, refunds cannot be processed through card cancellations, but have to be refunded through bank transfers, which is actually slowing down the process a lot.
Right.
And as you mentioned, this seems to be a reminiscent of the Merge Point situation in 2021, where Merge Plus repeatedly refused to deliver its goods to its regulator, and it became a police investigation, with the company staying very quiet at the beginning. And let's hope that it doesn't, go into a police investigation for this situation as well.
Right, so hope this issue can be resolved fast. And that was our news feed for this Thursday. So we're now going to move on to our main discussion of the day. Today we're going to talk about an increasingly pressing issue among the younger generation. Take a look at the screen to find out more.
We talked about the NEET last year on News Gen. NEET stands for those who are not employed in education or training. In Korea, they are referred to as the younger generation who just rest. Data shows that the NEET tribe has grown bigger this year. The question now is, why are we seeing this increase? And what can be done to address this issue?
Right, so the reason we chose this topic today about the younger generation who are taking a break is that we actually saw the number of this NEET tribe hitting a record high last month, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So the number of the young people taking a break has actually reached nearly 700,000, marking the highest level ever recorded. Now, according to last month's statistics, there were 680,000 20s and 30s who were resting during this period, which is actually more than those affected by COVID-19.
Wow.
Now here, the resting youth refers to those without serious illnesses or disabilities, or who are not working or are not actively seeking employment. So it seems that, out of the 700,000, 680,000 are in their 20s and 30s. That's almost like 90% of the population.
Right, and this issue is actually becoming more concerning is because despite the government rolling out various policies and initiatives to actually encourage the NEET tribe to get back to work, we're seeing in the opposite these numbers rise, hitting a record high since relevant data started being compiled in 2003.
Yeah, because if you remember, Eugene, I think it was us who covered the NEET tribe
Right.
year, right here at NewsGen. And actually, I checked back the reporting that we did last year, and the number has actually increased from the number that was reported.
Right.
And even though the government is infusing a lot of money into creating policies, it seems to be completely ineffective, and number just seems to keep rising. Yeah.
Well, maybe today our discussion could kind of help address or tackle this problem a bit better.
That would be really great, yeah.
So I think that to better address the problem, it's really important to get to the bottom of the problem. So Walter, why do you think we are seeing more younger people taking a break from literally everything?
Well, according to an analysis by the Ministry of Employment and Labour, quality of job opportunities are actually limited, and young people are analysing that they take breaks because they prioritise work-life balance, the workload, the welfare and other factors, and are unable to find that desired job. So if we take a look at the screen, according to the survey released by the Ministry of Economy and Finance, the most common reason for taking a break was, as I mentioned, difficulty finding that desired employment, followed by preparing for the next job. But sadly, some of them also suffer from poor health. There are others as well that we could name. But yes, it seems that a lot of people are really wanting their dream job. They really want to get the job that they've always wanted. But given how competitive our society is at the moment, it's extremely difficult, and it's leaving a lot of these people in this situation of becoming NEET tribes.
It's definitely, it feels like getting your dream job is becoming harder these days. Now, let's talk about some of the other reasons, Cheska. What could be some other factors that is driving the younger generation to take a break? And do you have any friends or peers around you who are actually part of the NEET tribe?
Yeah, surprisingly, I actually do have a lot of friends who are in the part of the NEET tribe culture. Some of them are actually taking a quote-unquote longer break than expected from transitioning to the next hiring process. There are some who just actively decided to take a break and are actually using their savings to travel or search for other work options, like becoming a digital nomad or having their own startup. And I think we talked about it here in NewsGen also, but this concept of like a lifetime workplace, which was very common in our parents' generation, doesn't exist anymore.
No longer prevalent, right?
Exactly. Transition is very frequent, and people are always seeking for the next best option. So I think that also definitely attributed to the fact that some people, or many people in these cases, are taking this active break to either search for the next option or being really burned out and just decided to not be in the hiring process anymore.
Right. So these are some of the reasons behind more younger generation here in Korea taking a break from work, education, or training. Now, to find out more, we also asked our viewers if they resonate with the NEET tribe that we're talking about, or in other words, whether they would also like to take a break from work, job seeking, or studying, and if so, why? And here's what 3 of them had to say. Leon says, work can be demanding and constant pressure can lead to stress and burnout. Taking breaks allows me to mentally recharge and come back feeling refreshed and more focused. Rex Alex says, when I took a break from work, I focused on finishing my graduate school requirements. I gave up a possible job promotion, but it was a good choice. Not only did I finish my master's degree, I also got a job offer, which led to many opportunities. And Benny says, for me, there is a lot of implications. Settling in a new environment and the workload that is getting heavier at times are the reasons. Surely we need to rest to prevent stress, and that is why we want to get out of work. So based on the comments from our viewers, we can definitely see that the younger generation is actually interested in becoming a part of the NEET tribe. In other words, taking a break. We even saw one viewer commenting that he actually took a break from work. So now for a more in-depth discussion on the topic, we're actually going to invite a Korean Gen Z who is part of the NEET tribe right after this break. We're back. Today we're joined by Jio Lee, a Korean Gen Z, part of the NEET tribe. Great to have you on the show, Jio.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi.
Right, Jio. So our first question for you is, how long have you been part of the NEET tribe, and why did you decide to take a break from working or studying? And also, we can't ignore financial problems when resting. So we also want to ask you, how are you taking care of your living expenses now?
I'm not sure if I fit in the definition to NEET perfectly. Actually, I didn't know what NEET stands for, so I googled the word. So it stands for not in education, employment, and training, right?
Right.
In my case, I'm currently taking break without graduating from the school. But there is one thing I am sure about. I haven't found what I want to do yet. I'm taking time to figure out what suits me the best.
And what kind of job qualities or conditions would motivate you to get back into the workforce or get into the workforce?
Do you want us to repeat the question, Jio?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So what kind of qualities or conditions would motivate you to get into the workforce?
Oh, financial issues. Financial issues cannot be neglected. Actually, money is the one of the biggest concerns, but that I have. Since my parents offer me food and a living place, so I could survive till now. Until recently, I used to rely on pocket money from parents, but these days I try to do part-time jobs as I'm getting a bit older. And the most important thing is not spending money as much as I can do. Once I get money, I save them until I really have to use them.
Yeah, money can be a very, very big problem when it comes to taking a break. Is there any improvement or good things that you would like to see in the work environment in South Korea for people like you?
Yes.
Could you please share your ideas?
Thank you.
Oh, so what kind of factors do you think would help you to actually motivate to get employed or seek for a job? Or in other words, what would be your definition of a dream job?
To be honest, I have no full-time job experience, so the direct answer for your question is really I don't know. However, what makes me want to start working a little sooner is again the money issues. I tried working in 갈비집, kupang, and some restaurants as a part-timer. Those jobs are tough. Actually, those were a lot tougher than I expected. Plus, the payment is not so good. So I sometimes think I would rather find a better full-time job than doing these part-time jobs.
Well, I mean, having a lot of experience, I think, will surely help you find your answer of your desired job. All right, Jio, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. So as we're talking about the younger generation who are taking a break from job seeking, employment, or education, taking a break isn't necessarily bad because it could actually motivate you to find your dream job. As we talked about in our interview, it could give you a break that could give you a recharge.
Right. Or life experiences, as you talked about.
Definitely right. But with Korea seeing more and more young people resting instead of working and the government being so concerned about it, it seems that it will take a toll on the society in the future, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct when it comes down to taking a break isn't necessary. Now, during the bit of a break, Jessica asked me if I was part of the NEET tribe.
Right.
Yes, I did.
I was, and I was before it was even cool. So, but now I did take a break, and it was very useful for me to actually take. I think it was like 6 months off. Yes, it doesn't help that we are also an aging society, though, meaning that we're going to see less and less workers in the future. Like you said, it isn't a bad thing, supposedly, but there is a point where you have to get back on the horse and start making a living again. I luckily am one of those people who one of the top things that we talked about was finding a desired job.
Right.
I was lucky enough to find a desired job, which was being in this business. So
And being part of the news gen.
yeah, being a part of the news gen, that was number one.
Number one dream
Even
job.
before news gen was even created.
That's
I
why
was
we're
like,
not in the NEET tribe, because
The top of my list.
yes, I need to be a part of a program that talks about the 20s and 30s issues. That was even before news gen was invented. But yes, I think that taking a break is a good idea, but unfortunately, we have to make a living, and it's you can't, be freeloading for the rest of your life.
Well, Walter, I'm glad to hear that you were part of the NEET tribe even before the term NEET was trending in our society. You're definitely a trendsetter.
Yes, I think it is because of me. Yes.
Right, but I also wholeheartedly agree that the growing NEET tribe isn't just an individual issue because it could lead to a bigger economic issues in our society. For example, it could impact the productivity of our country. So this is definitely something that needs to be addressed. What are some other concerns regarding the growing, snowballing NEET tribe, Cheska, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think economic issue is something that I think the government also, puts out a lot, because the young people are the workforce,
Right.
They are the talent, and they're not being infused into society, and that could be a huge disadvantage to the country as a whole. But I would also like to point out the social aspect of it too. So when you're not integrated fully into the society as a workforce, there can be an increasing level of anxiety, a level of isolation, and even maybe apathy towards what's happening in the society when you don't have a community built around it. And I was unintentionally unemployed for 3 months, not even 6, and I was becoming increasingly anxious. So I think that is something that, there's benefit to having a secure employment that gives you a certain level of luxury and comfort and stability that enables you to do other things in society. So I think that could be something that we could be thinking about also.
Right, definitely. So this is not only an economic issue, it could be a societal issue
I
as
think
well.
so, yeah.
And as part of the same generation of the NEET tribe, those in their 20s and 30s, we're always a show that's trying to advise or suggest good ways to tackle some of the pressing issues concerning our generation. So last but not least, what kind of tailored measures or initiatives do you suggest that could encourage more of the NEET tribe to bounce back or just enter the workforce?
Well, I think it's obvious. It's an obvious one for me, and that is the work-life balance. I know a person who moved to a Western country from Korea, and they were just absolutely shocked that people were prioritizing work-life balance just over work, which is great because we're so used to overworking here in Korea. We're always working very hard. We're a hard-working country, but when you go to another country where they prioritize that work-life balance, you realize, oh, I've got all this free time and I can actually enjoy life instead of thinking about work, which, yes, you can love your work, but there does need to be that nice little, I get to spend some free time
my
as
quality
well as I
time.
get to work. And that's what I think Korea needs to really do, is prioritize work-life balance, just give us our weekends back. Or give us, let us go home at the preferred time. That's all I'm asking. And I think that will definitely change a lot of the MZers to, getting back into the workforce or even getting into the workforce for starters.
Right. So number one suggestion, work-life balance. What do you suggest, Cheska?
I mean, work-life balance, definitely. I highly agree. But just to add on to that, I think this has also something very similar to do with the low fertility rate as well. But what I mean by that, I think there's a cultural narrative that plays into it, in the sense that I think when we look at how people end up in the society, I mean, the trajectory that they follow from, elementary school to middle school to high school and then college, there's so much competition and pressure to just get to the next level. So when they eventually come out of college and have to go into the society, I think everyone's pretty much burned out and they don't want to bear the burden or the pressure anymore, and probably is causing the increasing number of NEET tribe because now people have options not to do it, whereas in school or education system, they had to.
Right, they have to push themselves.
Exactly, follow that trajectory. So work-life balance, creative workforces, all very important. But I think this is the time for us to change the cultural narrative that is happening in Korean society so that people can really find jobs that they can flourish and not just go because everybody's doing it.
Right, definitely. Now, that was all about our discussion today on the growing NEET tribe here in Korea. But Newsden will be back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Korea time, bringing you more topics young people are talking about. Special thanks today to Walter Lee.
Always lovely to be here.
And Cheska Dayan-ha.
Pleasure's always mine. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. And before we go, Arirang TV, as you know, is conducting a viewer survey to meet our viewers' expectations. So please visit our official website or our official app, Arirang TV, for your valuable feedback and take part in chance to receive Bluetooth earbuds and K-pop merch. Thank you everyone for watching and see you tomorrow. We are News Generation.